Shalom, I'm the Messianic Torah dude, and this week, instead of wearing my usual disciple shirt, I thought I would give a shout out to friends of the show Chaotic Resemblance. Their new album, Covenant, is out anywhere where you can buy music right now, and you should definitely check out the single from this, which is Jesus is King. And while you're at it, maybe pick up one of their shirts and, I don't know, tell them I sent you, or just say, hey, thanks for doing good music that brings honor to the Lord. So this week's Torah portion is Acharei Mot, which deals with the scapegoat. Now the scapegoat is a goat that has the sin of the people placed upon its head, and it's cast.
Hey, what's up, bro? I thought we'd supposed to square up or something later. Whoa!
Lights go down when we hit the stage. The harder that the crowd begins to race. The people in the chairs all take a stand. We're rocking and rolling for the son of man. Rocking and rolling, yeah, yeah.
Acharei Mot, or after the death, comes to us from Leviticus chapter 16, verses 1 through 18, verse 30. And this deals with the goat that is cast out for Azazel, or the scapegoat. And this is part of the ritual for the Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur. And it's described in Leviticus chapter 16, verses 20 through 22. And when he has made an end of atoning for the holy place, and the tent of meeting, and the altar, he shall present the live goat. And Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, and confess over it all of the iniquities of the people of Israel, and all their transgressions, all their sins. And he shall put them on the head of the goat, and send it away into the wilderness, by the hand of a man who is in readiness. The goat shall bear all their iniquities on itself to a remote area, and he shall let the goat go free in the wilderness. So the sins of the people are placed upon the head of the goat, and then it's cast out. And the idea is that it was cast out into a place where it would not return. In the same way, when we cast our sins out, we should not want them to return. There's various traditions involving how this goat is supposed to be cast out. Most commonly, what they talk about is the goat being cast off of a cliff, which would definitely guarantee that it wouldn't return. But this idea of the Lord taking our sins far away from us is actually mirrored in Psalm 103, verses 11 through 12, where it says, "For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his steadfast love towards those who fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far does he remove our transgressions from us." Now what's interesting about this is there's a North Pole and the South Pole, but there's no such thing as an East Pole and a West Pole. They just keep going indefinitely in these opposite directions. But having our sins borne by another is a pretty obvious foreshadowing of Yeshua. In 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 24 and 25, it says this of Yeshua: "He himself bore our sins in his body on the tree, that we might die to sin and live to righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed. For you were straying like sheep, but have now returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls." So here we see this idea of our sins being cast upon someone else being mirrored in Yeshua. And of course Yeshua took those sins with him to the grave and then left them there in his empty tomb before he rose again as the first fruits of those who are to be resurrected.
What's up, bro? Hey, so I was thinking we could maybe go steal some stuff, maybe tag stuff or something, man. We gotta do some of this stuff, man. What do you say? Whoa!
And sometimes your sin just tries to keep coming back. So I'm going to talk about 3 tips for casting your sin away. Tip number 1, get rid of things that lead to temptation. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 29 through 30, Yeshua tells us, if your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. For it is better for you to lose one of your members than your whole body be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body go to hell. Now, obviously, this isn't a call for us to literally mutilate ourselves, but it is trying to set this idea that we should be willing to get rid of anything that brings temptation and brings sin into our lives. That means sometimes we have to get rid of friends. That means sometimes we have to cast away family. That means sometimes we have to cast away certain...
You really trying to get rid of me? Seriously, I thought we were close, brother.
Whoa!
Number 2, get accountable. Find somebody that you can trust. Find somebody that will hold your feet to the fire. In Galatians chapter 6, verses 1 and 2, it says, brothers, if anyone is caught in any transgression, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness. Keep watch on yourselves, lest you too be tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Messiah. See, we're not meant to bear up our temptations and bear up our sins alone. We are meant to rely on one another. The whole reason Yeshua put us into a mishpacha, a family, into a kehilat, a congregation, is so that we could encourage one another and build one another up and hold one another accountable. And number 3, replace the bad with the good. Ephesians chapter 4, 28 through 29 says, let the thief no longer steal, but rather let him who labor doing honest work with his own hands, so that he may have something to share with anyone in need. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that may give grace to those who hear. What this passage is essentially saying is all of these bad things in your life, all of these bad habits, replace them with things that aren't going to leave room for the bad habits to come in. Find something good to replace the bad in your life. So, what are some other ways that we can cast sin out of our lives? Let me know in the comments, and if we gave you a laugh, give us a like, and if you learned something, give us a share. I'm the Messianic Torah dude. Shalom, and stay in the Word.